Hi from South Africa, and this is 2 minutes of truth walking. As you can see, it's a little darker here. I didn't time this live so well, and it's load shedding in our area right now. Having said that, my topic, very interestingly, is recognizing self. And very often we don't step into our light and we don't see our light. It's very easy to see everyone else's light, but for us, sometimes we just don't see it, or we don't think that who we are being, is that special, which we are special in so many ways we see and don't see. So here's something that happens. We tend to think that if we do something, we then the being follows. For instance, if you say to yourself, I am going to clear the clutter in my space, then we become clutter clearers and everything's neat. And very often that doesn't happen. We tend to clear the clutter, and we slowly see it resurfacing and making its way into whichever areas of life, and we wonder why. If we see ourselves, though, as organized and having a system, and that's who we see, then it doesn't flow, that there's automatically clutter wherever we are. So I found this resonance in James Clear's book Atomic Habits, a really great book, and it was about shifting your identity instead of forming habits that you do. And I find that resonates so strongly for me because I strongly feel that we step into being, and then from the being, the doing just flows. So how do we step into being? How do we recognize who we are and we don't see it? Three different ways. So the first one is have a journal page every day, whatever it is that you'd like to do. For instance, supposing you want to start your own business and it's online. You've never done that before. Instead of saying, I have my own online business, or I work online, or whatever it is, all these things that you do, why not just say, I am an entrepreneur. I am an online entrepreneur. And you may not feel that way at first. You may feel a bit uncomfortable because you're starting something new. Take a page in your journal and every morning write that about yourself, not what you do, but who you are, your identity, and write that identity in different ways. So, for instance, you may write, I'm an entrepreneur. The next day you might write, I am an online business owner. The next day you may write something else about the specifics of the business. I am, whatever it is you are. I am, like for instance, for me, I'm a healing breakthrough coach. And all it does, it doesn't limit you, it doesn't define you. In fact, it undefines you, because you see all these possibilities about who you are and who you can be that you haven't seen before, especially if you're doing something new and you don't quite believe it yet. And if you write it enough times and you start reading it throughout the day, that's who you see yourself as being. Before your brain says to you, I don't believe that, you're stepping into it. The second way is that make it part of your conversation. If if you want to write, it's I am a writer, and start doing it. And it doesn't matter if you write one sentence or one paragraph or 10 pages. If you're the person who wants to be a writer, or maybe you want to blog every day, whatever it is, instead of saying I blog every day, I am a blogger. So just make it part of your journaling, make it part of your conversation, and then just make it part of you. And it isn't the only part of you. It's definitely not the most important or the least important part of you, but it is part of who you are. And your brain, your mind needs to know that. Your being does. So it's all about just recognizing who you are. And that helps you to recognize both your possibility and your potential. And it also helps you to recognize things that you don't know about yourself. You look at your friends and you can recognize that about them any day. You know, you give them a shout out, you tell them how talented they are, you admire their skills. Why not do that for yourself as a friend? And as I say that, I'm talking to me too. Right now, I'm talking to me, and I'll share more about that. I'm also stepping into who I am, shifting my identity, letting the doing flow from the being first. Love and light to you. I see you. I recognize you. I recognize your potential. I recognize your possibility. And even though right now you may be asking, well, you don't really know me. How can you say that? If I was talking to you right now, I guarantee I'd recognize something about yourself, about you and your skills and talents that you don't recognize, because we never think of ourselves as having a quality that's so special, because it comes so naturally that we don't recognize it as something extraordinary. My business coach always says that what we see as ordinary, other people see as extraordinary, and I think that's amazing advice. So I see you, I recognize you, and should we be in contact, I'd love to share something about you that I really admire. Love and light to you.